Hello, welcome to the Wildcat Insider, your source from stories from grades 7, 8, and 9. I'm your host, Mason Gresh. Throughout the year, students in the foreign language classes have opportunities to participate in cultural experiences. Kiara Moncaluso and Robin Riley had a chance to visit the annual German Oktoberfest.
My favorite part about Oktoberfest is bread.
My favorite part is the food and learning about it.
My favorite thing about German class is just that we're like family and we just learn so much.
My favorite part of German class is like the culture and just learning about the country.
On September 29th and 30th, Mrs. Jordan's art students were able to view a chainsaw artist who demonstrated this sculpture technique and discussed his artistic process with the students. Here are some highlights. All 7th grade students are invited to the 7th grade Fall Fest, sponsored by the Greater Latrobe Junior High Web Group. The event will take place on Wednesday, November 10th, after school until 4:30. Come out and enjoy games, snacks, and other activities. Permission forms should be turned into your homeroom teacher by November 5th. We had a chance to talk to Ms. Dillon about why students should come to the event.
7th graders should definitely come to the Fall Fest this year because it gives them an opportunity to hang out with their friends, possibly meet new friends, and do all kinds of cool activities and maybe even get some snacks. Hope to see you at Fall Fest.
In other school news, the quail eggs have hatched. 7th grade students are studying life characteristics in science class and recently enjoyed the hatching of their quail eggs. Here is Mr. Roberts with the details.
Right now in science, we're doing life characteristics. So the things that we're trying to get from the quail activity is, number one, you're never going to get 100% survival rate in any species. So we had 30 eggs and 21 hatched out. So 9 didn't make it because a lot can go wrong in the growth and development of a creature. After they're born, the kids can see how fast they grow, how they eat, how they interact with each other as a flock, so they can just see how the life is going to look as it's developing inside of our tank. At the end of the experiment, they'll go home with Mr. Bridge, and he will let them go at his house and use them to train bird dogs. They're not going to kill the quail, they're just going to train the dogs with them.
On October 8th, 7th and 8th grade band members performed with the Senior High Marching Band in the 27th Annual Greater Latrobe Band Night. Tim Myers and Liz Wilson spoke to Mr. Jordan and some band members about their experience.
All right, so band night is students in 7th and 8th grade that join our high school Wildcat marching band for an evening Friday night football game every fall. So for this year's band night, we were kind of back at it after not having it last year due to the pandemic. But like I said, we're back at it this year, and we rehearsed throughout September, and then the event was Friday, October 8th, which we played with the Wildcat Band at the Friday night football game. We had a really good band night this year. In fact, the students mixed really well with the senior high students. So we had our 7th, 8th grade students coming out from like all of our sections: flutes, clarinets, trumpets, trombones, percussion, etc. Yeah, and we mixed them up with the Wildcat Band, and I think everybody had a great time. Overall, band night was a great success this year, and we look forward to continuing that tradition, off into the future.
My favorite part about band night was being able to go out on the field during the pregame show.
Probably like right before we did everything, like practicing with all the senior high band members. That was fun.
Red Ribbon Week began in 1985 and is celebrated every year in October. Here's Jacob Urbanik with more information about why we celebrate this day.
Red Ribbon Week is the nation's oldest and largest drug prevention awareness program. Red Ribbon Week started after the death of Drug Enforcement Administration Special Agent Enrique Kiki Camarena, who in 1985 was brutally murdered by drug traffickers he was investigating in Mexico. After his death, people started wearing red ribbons to honor Kiki's sacrifice. Today, millions of people celebrate Red Ribbon Week by wearing red ribbons, participating in community anti-drug events, and pledging to live drug-free lives. In many communities, celebration has turned into a variety of activities implemented for the month of October. These activities are meant to demonstrate the importance of making healthy and smart decisions throughout life so that your dreams and goals can be achieved.
Here's a showcase of some of the Red Ribbon Week door designs. As we wrap up the first quarter, Alyssa Lovell and Lucy Blychek asked students and staff what one highlight from the first 9 weeks.
My favorite highlight of the first quarter would probably be meeting all my new teachers.
Hi, I'm Nina Steele, and my favorite memory from the first quarter is hanging out with friends at the football game.
Hi, I'm Luana Hurley, and my favorite highlight of the first quarter was meeting new teachers.
Hi, I'm Mason, and my favorite highlight from the first quarter is playing football.
Hi, my name is Quinn Macho. My favorite highlight of the quarter is meeting Wyatt.
Hi, I'm Wyatt Niederheiser, and my favorite highlight of the quarter is meeting Quinn.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Mallory, and my favorite memory or highlight from quarter one is getting to meet all of the students and seeing everyone in the building this year.
Today is October 29. Here's Brandon Reno and Aiden Urbanik with This Day in History.
On this day in 1942, Bob Ross was born. Bob Ross was a famous American artist.
On this day in 1929, nearly 13 million shares of U.S. stock were sold in one day.
On this day in 1962, John Glenn returns to space. On this day in 1971, a famous female actress, Winona Ryder, was born.
On this day in 1994, the song All I Want for Christmas Is You was released by Mariah Carey.
Today is National Oatmeal Day. Briley Bodner and Maddie Slater polled students and staff about their favorite flavors of oatmeal and share some ways that you can enjoy this healthy breakfast choice.
Today is National Oatmeal Day, so here are 5 reasons why oatmeal is good for you. Oatmeal can lower blood sugar levels, reduce the risk of heart disease, and fill you up for the rest of the day. Some tasty toppings to put on your oatmeal are strawberries, bananas, blueberries, and chocolate chips. We did a poll and asked 50 people what their favorite type of oatmeal is, and between these options, maple and brown sugar, apples and cinnamon, pumpkin spice, cinnamon and spice, banana nut, and regular, the winning oatmeal is maple and brown sugar! Grab a bowl of oatmeal and enjoy the rest of National Oatmeal Day.
Today is also National Cat Day, so Sophia Bulova and Gracie Mahanes want you to vote for your favorite. Here are the contestants.
First up, we have Angus, and he is 5 months old.
Second, we have Rambo. He is 16 years old.
Next, we have Pumpkin, and she is a year old.
Then we have Tinker. She is 11 years old.
Finally, we have Daisy. She is 5 years old.
Check your email and vote for your favorite cat. The winner will be in the next episode.
Random and Wrong by Design, here's Maria Angeliquio, Coco Toscano, and Angelina Hernandez with our take on wrong answers only.
Wrong answers only. What school do you teach at?
I teach at Harvard.
Wrong answers only. What school do you teach at?
I teach at Pennsylvania State University.
Wrong answers only. What do you eat soup with?
A tree.
Wrong answers only. What do you use to carve a pumpkin?
Pitchfork.
A rake.
Wrong answers only. What do you use to carve a pumpkin?
A microwave.
A toothbrush. Xbox fridge.
Wrong answers only. What is your favorite Halloween candy?
Feet.
In sports news, fall sports teams are wrapping up their seasons. Reporters Robin Riley and Chiara Mangaluzzo spoke to some of the soccer players about their seasons.
My greatest accomplishment was probably starting varsity.
My greatest accomplishment was probably my 2 goals.
Probably playing almost every game.
My favorite part was hanging out with all my friends and having fun.
I'm playing on Rossi.
Bus rides.
Next year I want to score some goals.
Just like, I don't know, improve from last season, I guess.
My goals for this season was to have a good season, but I'm hurt, so great season.
The 7th and 8th grade swim team season also ended this week. Noah Hoff and Nick Pravarnik have the recap.
The junior high swim team had impressive meets this season. The team was consistent with either reaching or beating the previous times. One highlight this season is when Noah Smith won the boys 100 IM with a time of 1 minute and 34.02 seconds during their last meet of the season on October 21st. The team truly had a great run, or should I say swim, this season, and they finished strongly at the championship meet on Saturday, October 23rd, finishing 2nd and 3rd out of the 13 teams that attended. Also, Charlie Thompson, Chris Heese, and Maggie Myers broke several junior high swim records. Congratulations, team, on your well-deserved win.
We now move over to the gridiron. Max Butler and Jack Doronovich got a chance to talk to some of the football players and coaches about their season.
It's been a tough season for the Wildcats, but there have been some highlights and memorable moments.
Probably the highlight of the season is having fun with my friends, traveling, and playing other teams.
The highlight of the season is probably playing games against other teams, playing outside linebacker, and having a good season.
The highlight of the game is probably all the fun that we had in the locker room and then playing my position.
The highlight of my season was whenever I got rocked by Chris Cochran.
Winning the McKeesport game.
The highlight of our season was beating McKeesport.
I would say the same thing.
The hardest challenge this year is probably summer conditioning.
Probably blocking. Definitely blocking.
Congratulations to all of the fall sports teams on their seasons. Costumes, candy corn, and corn mazes. A lot of people look forward to this spooky time of year. We now go to reporter Mia Klasnick for our Halloween segment of the show.
Thanks, Mason. You may see which is hitting the streets in packs this Halloween. Google recently released its list of the most searched costumes of 2021, and for the second year, which landed in the top spot, Rabbit took second place in the list, followed by dinosaurs. Since there are so many things to dress up as for Halloween, reporters Grace Navarre and Gia Angeliquio asked students about their costumes for this Halloween.
I'm dressing up as a Halloween fairy.
A clown football player.
Sumo wrestler.
I'm going to be Ricky Bobby from Talladega Night.
A volleyball player.
Spider-Man.
I'm going as a group as fairies.
Skiers.
I'm gonna dress up as a basketball player.
Robin.
Instead of going to the store for a prepackaged Halloween treat, here's Avi Mucci and Bree Hoffer with a Halloween treat you can make at home.
How to make Rice Krispie monsters. Start with a plain Rice Krispie treat. Add frosting and spread it around. Don't forget to pick a Halloween-themed color. Make sure you get the frosting on the front, back, and both sides. Finish spreading your frosting and then move on to the decorating phase. We chose to add edible candy eyes and a purple frosting mouth, but you can do whatever design you want. Don't forget to add sprinkles. The last step is sticking a straw/pole in the Rice Krispie treat. Enjoy your Halloween-themed treat.
According to CandyStore.com, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are considered the most popular Halloween candy in the country. But locally, Hershey's Mini Bars take home the top ranking. Mason and I asked students and staff what they prefer for their Halloween treat.
My favorite candy are the Dot gumdrops. When my kids were Halloweening, I used to go in their bags and steal them all the time.
And my favorite candy is Reese's Pieces.
My favorite Halloween candy is probably Reese's.
Mine's candy corn.
My favorite candy is Twix.
My favorite candy is probably Sour Patch Kids.
My favorite Halloween candy is Twix.
My favorite Halloween candy is Jolly Ranchers.
Twix.
Peanut butter cups.
Sour Skittles.
M&M's.
Sour Patch Kid watermelon.
Swedish Fish.
Looking for something fun to do this fall? Here's Dale Hennigan and Eli Boring with some things you can do to get into the fall and Halloween spirit.
If you're into scary movies, make sure to go watch Antlers. It's about a small-town Oregon teacher and her brother, the local sheriff, discover that a young student is harboring a dangerous secret with frightening consequences. So make sure to go grab your popcorn and head to the theater. If you're invested in corn mazes, you should check out Chad's Corn Maze, located in Ligonier, PA. It is not haunted and is a pumpkin patch. It is open October 29th through the 31st and starts at 5:30 and ends at 10:30. If you're interested, give them a call at 814-233-4728. The directions are 2973 State Route 711. If you're more into haunted hayrides, you should go check out the Fright Farm. It's a hayride that has a bunch of frightening subjects waiting for you along the way. If interested, it is located at Laurel Highlands, 2043 Furnace Road, and is open from the 29th to the 31st. Make sure to give them a call at 724-564-7644.
A good scary movie can definitely get you into the Halloween spirit. Reporters Alex Dominic and Matthew Marino asked students about their favorite scary movie.
My favorite horror movie is Scream.
My favorite horror movie is The Shining.
My favorite scary movie is Scream.
It. Scream.
Friday the 13th, the original. Anytime I go past any cornfield in the Greater Latrobe School District, I wonder if Jason Voorhees is coming after me.
My name's Annalise Bauer.
And I'm Ava Lebecki.
And our favorite scary movie is Monster House.
My favorite scary movie is Halloween.
My favorite is Friday the 13th.
My favorite is The Conjuring.
Halloween. Hocus Pocus.
I'm Jack Sagarpani, and my favorite scary movie is Conjuring 2.
I'm Lizzie Haichu, and my favorite scary movie is It 3.
My favorite scary movie is Nightmare on Elm Street.
My favorite scary movie is Halloween.
My favorite scary movie is Silence of the Lambs.
We hope everyone has a safe and happy Halloween. Back to you, Mason.
Thanks, Mia. Veterans Day is November 11th. This is an important day to thank our veterans for their service. Michael Vito and Andrew Hans have some facts about why we celebrate this important day.
Veterans Day is on November 11th every year.
Veterans Day was originally called Armistice Day.
Veterans Day was made a legal holiday in 1938.
Under Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1954, Armistice Day was officially changed to Veterans Day.
Veterans Day was originally on the 4th Monday of October.
We are lucky enough to have a few courageous men in our school who have served our country. Reporters Jack Jeffrey and Parker Repko had a chance to talk to Mr. Armstrong and Mr. Simpson about their service.
What branch of the service were you in?
I served in the United States Marine Corps. I served in the Army Reserves, so Army, but on the reserve side of things.
How long did you serve?
I served it from 1990 to 1996.
I served for 20 years. I retired about 4 years ago after 20 years in the reserves. That included training time as well as a year overseas.
Where were you stationed at?
I was stationed in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
Most of the time I served in a unit that was based in Brownsville, Pennsylvania, down near California and Uniontown. Did training at a wide variety of bases around the country. I did spend a 2-week summer training one time in Guatemala, which was interesting and fun. And then I did a year serving in Iraq.
Can you describe your training?
Sometimes very rough, other times kind of lonely, because when you're away from your family, that can be difficult.
Training was a lot of what you might typically see if you watch the movies or talk about any of the things you hear from other folks. The movies, I think, sometimes are a lot more glamorized and so on than what you might see. But training was a lot of physical training, especially early on in basic training and so on. And then eventually you learn your military job, what we call our MOS, Military Occupational Specialty. My MOS was a truck driver, so I learned how to drive trucks in general and military trucks in particular, and that qualified me to drive just about anything. I did dump trucks. I was in a unit with dump trucks, 20-ton dump trucks for a while, and I did tractor-trailer trucks for most of the time that I was in. The unit that I was in had fuel tankers, and we would haul 7,500 gallons of fuel. It could be jet fuel or diesel fuel, something along those lines.
What was the most challenging part of serving the military?
Again, I would say being away from my family for long stretches of time were probably the most difficult part for me.
The most challenging part of serving in the military, I would say, probably was being away from family, especially obviously for the year that I was in Iraq. My kids were little. My youngest was in kindergarten, went into kindergarten during the year when I was away. You missed all the birthdays, you missed Christmas, you missed those kinds of things. And I like those kinds of things too, but it was hard knowing, especially my son, he was going to be 20% older when I got back than when I left, having missed a whole year plus of his life between the training before we left and when we actually shipped over. So I think missing family was hard. Some of the physical stuff was hard. So there are times too when you're challenged and you're not fully rested. Some of the things you do keeps you awake long periods of time, either because you're sleeping on the ground in a tent and it's been raining for 3 days and everything's soaking wet, or it might just be the activities you're doing keep you busy. So being tired is sometimes a challenge as well.
What advice do you have for students who are interested in the military?
Yeah, make sure you're very committed to this nation, and make sure that you make sure you do a lot of training before you go in, because there's a lot of physical exercise. Make sure that you're used to wearing boots, and make sure that you're used to being outside for long periods of time.
Advice for students interested in serving our country is great. The first thing is you don't necessarily have to join the military to serve your country. There's lots of things that you can do. But if the military is something that you're considering, one piece of advice that I would offer and have offered to just about anybody is to sit down with somebody who's been in the military and talk about their experiences and get yourself some firsthand knowledge of what it's like. It's not always like what you see in the movies. In fact, it's rarely like that kind of stuff. I have talked to many students over the years about my experiences, and I would say that my experiences probably are still mostly valid, but especially if you had an older cousin or an older sibling or somebody that that's recently been through the military, and they can give you some more firsthand, more recent information and background about what it's like in the military today. Things change, and some of my experiences may be the same as what they might go through if they were to join, but it also might be different.
Saturday, November 13th is World Kindness Day. Katie Alba and Lainey Bossert have some ideas on how you can show kindness to others.
Being nice to people throughout the day will not only brighten their day, but also make you feel better about yourself. 5 ways to be kind to someone today are: open a door for someone, compliment someone, offer them help, smile at someone, or give them good advice.
We can show kindness by doing nice things for people, like opening the door for someone.
And my suggestion for showing kindness would be to use please and thank you.
Hi, I'm Lucy Blychek.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Lovell.
And one way you can show kindness is helping people when they're lost.
Or complimenting them.
One way to show kindness is to help others when they need it. And sit with someone at lunch.
Hi, I'm Mr. Snyder. And a good way to show kindness is to treat others the way you'd like to be treated.
We end our show with a fun Finish the Lyrics segment by Sarah Ginther and Abby Kunkelman.
And we're doing Finish the Lyric.
Till I can't stand.
And we're doing Finish the Lyric.
I'm out of my head, I'm out of my mind.
We're doing Finish the Lyric.
Did a full 180. Crazy.
Finish the lyric.
Sweet Caroline.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Wildcat Insider. We will see you November 19th.